when I first started publishing on Amazon, I missed out on the quietly super high driven sales that were happening in Q4 on Amazon. KDP, October, November, and December can drive an income for you that could be for an entire year. When I first started publishing, I missed this window, but I was so pumped to be able to do this. And so in this video, we're going to talk about some of probably the 3 things for you to think about as you're getting ready for Q4. It's in just a couple weeks. It doesn't matter when you're watching this video. If you're watching this video in January or February, that's when I start. Like, there is no wrong time to start on Q4, okay? My name is Jenny Hansen Lane, and I have published 611 books. I've crossed 6 figures doing this, and my biggest month was actually in January on Amazon when I brought in $11,000, and that allowed us to buy a rental property. So by the end of this video, you have a very clear idea to like expand your mind on the possibility of publishing. And I wrote down a couple notes just for me not to forget anything. So the biggest part about this is that more books are sold in October, November, and December than almost the entire other quarters. The reason why is because it's a holiday season, especially in the United States. A lot of people celebrate the holiday of Christmas by giving gifts, okay? So we know that as a world marketplace, about 2.2 books are sold every single day, which I love being a part of an industry that is one of the oldest industries in the world. I was talking to one of my wealth coaches and he was like, life insurance is one of the oldest. And I was like, books are older than that. Okay. So like, people love learning. They love buying books. There is a place for digital Kindle. There is a place for audiobooks, but there will always be a place for like that tactile physicality of books. Okay. So that is the first thing, is that people buy books as gifts. It is something that people want to share as their gift giving, their language of love. Okay. Now, the holiday drives this, and it's not just one holiday. So people love celebrating holidays. So you could honestly publish in different niches that are holidays to start seeing these spikes, but you could even get books up for Halloween. There's 90 million monthly buyers on Amazon. That is worldwide, but there is a large percentage of them that live in the United States, and most of them celebrate Halloween, okay? So you can start with niches to pick up your Q4 earnings by focusing on Halloween niches. Now, people even buy things for Thanksgiving. They will do word searches. They'll get things for their kids. They'll want their kids to learn about holidays. So really, there is not a bad time to start. I used to think that if I didn't have a book up on Amazon by July for Q4, then I was too late. And that was just a scarcity mindset. Now I'm like, anytime you launch a book is a good time. The fact that you're planting the seed on Amazon is incredible, okay? The second part of this is I want you to think about if your book is giftable. Is this something that people would say, hey, I want to buy a couple of these? Those have always been the funnest to see my students post in my private community. Like, hey, Laurel, I should show you the screenshot. She sold the first journal she did, she sold 35 copies. So a lot of people throw rocks and say like, oh, low content's oversaturated. Like, her royalty was $40 that day. For, like, it adds up. Sorry, her royalty from one book was $40 that day. But once you learn a skill set, you can literally stack those skill sets, and it's compounding. Compounding income is one of the greatest things that can change your life, okay? Now, you've seen this channel. We have 900 videos. The books, I feel like books have made more money than my YouTube videos. I mostly do this to educate, and it's fun for me to not be alone in my publishing journey. But books, I go back, and when I talk to YouTubers, I actually have a YouTube shirt on from a mastermind that I attended, and it is so valuable to be publishing on Amazon right now. Like, you set the royalty. It's not based off of a CPM. It's not based off on how many people. Like, it's based off of when you sell it, okay? So I want you to ask yourself that question. Is this a good gift? Is this something that's giftable? Because a lot of times we can get hung up in putting a book on Amazon that's actually more for us than our customer, okay? So I want you to think about, when we talk about preparing, me and Danny on Demand, who has a YouTube channel, this is our second or third live workshop. We're launching a Q4 KDP live workshop, and I'll put a link below for you to attend. These are live and we'll answer your questions, because a lot of people have questions about like, hey, how do I prepare the right budget for this? How do I make sure I have enough money to spend to make more money? Other people ask about like, what's working now? What should I lean into for Q4? And so we have a system that we both used individually, and we've come together in these master classes, which are really, really powerful. So for those of you that are ready, like, we want you to attend this class, but then also, even if you don't attend, I want you to understand the 3 biggest things in this video to prepare for Q4. And number 1 is that you can start now. It doesn't matter if you are late to the game in October, you're watching this video in November, you're watching this video on Christmas Eve, this is your call. This is your invitation just to get started, because if you don't stop, you can't lose. Like, there's so many fun niches to publish in, and I would hate for you to think that because you missed the first Q4 of your, self-publishing journey, that there isn't more for you. I always get really excited for this, and I actually started last October, just started making a little bit more books. March, it kind of picked up, and so now I've turned on ads a little early just to kind of see how they do. So that is the first thing, is always be preparing for Q4. Don't wait for videos like this to come out. Like, this is your permission, this is your call to action, just to start doing it now, okay? The second thing is, I want you to think about another way to prepare for Q4 by taking action, is taking your existing books and thinking about how to repurpose them now to be able to serve that customer on a greater level. A lot of times when people buy things, they come back and they buy more of what they already have. And so those are actually any book sales that you've had, what we call that a validated sell. Like, the book has been validated, and there's no reason why you can't give yourself permission to create more, okay? The third thing that's really important that people forget a lot when they start publishing is that they don't create a budget for themselves. I have a student, he is incredible. He made $45,000 in December, and one of the ways that he was able to leverage that is that he prepared all year for a budget. Now, he did even use a credit card, which I'm not going to tell you what to do. That is more high risk, right? But he was able to make 45 grand from, I believe, $15,000 in ad spend. And he got those royalties 60 days later, okay? So he prepared his budget ahead of time to be able to be successful by having that credit. Now, some of you may save up for your royalties to do that. Now, I would tell you that be smart about your investment. I don't ever want anyone to do anything risky or gamble. I always joke, like, my biggest gamble was marrying my husband, and that paid off, but I've never gambled outside of that. So I want you just to be conscious of that investment and that time. And there's always, also at the end, like, in closing, I just want you to know that there's always room for you to be successful. So literally, if you're watching this video on Christmas Eve and you felt like you missed it, you didn't. This is your call. This is your invitation to go and do it, okay? Now, if you guys want more mindset videos, you let me know below, because I think sometimes it is the mindset that stops us from being truly successful. So if we can get out of our own way, it's even better. Now, if you want more resources and you want to join Danny and I will put a link below. We would love to have you. We have limited seats, and the doors are not open forever. And so we're so excited. So let me know what questions you have. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.